Hi, Teresa. Thank you for attending our session. And this session is about the launching of our new information services management system for LIS, that is Health Information Locator, and DirEve, that is Directory of Events. We have started this updating of this system when we have a feedback and some recommendations from VHL Network for methodological and technological upgrading of LIS and DirEve. And it happens in 2011 when we have the VHL meetings. That was a pre-event for CRICS that was happened in Washington, I guess. And in another time we have 2 times, to be correct. We have 2 forums in Brazil where the Brazilian network have recommended us to make this upgrading of the system to manage this information services. Actually, we have started this because the network was arguing us about the need of if it was still needed to publish these information services that we are talking about, LIS and DirEve. And after, when we are working on the development of this new system, we realized that these both information sources are necessary and very important to us in the VHL model. And after we have had these recommendations from these forums, we have started a project and presented this project for Brazilian Ministry of Health to make this upgrade and launching of a new system to manage these information sources. And it was in the context of making these portals accessible for the for people who has disabilities, disabled person, and then both of these portals, DirEve and LIS, are accessible in the level AAA of W3C recommendations. Okay. The other scenario that we have analyzed is that we had nowadays a change in the scientific communication scenario. The scientific communication is not only as we have previously, when we have just the publication of journals, books, and theses. In that time, we have already had the invisible colleges. But nowadays, when the researchers has access to tools that facilitate them to publish the research results, and not only the research results, but also they can publish their data that they collect from the subject of these researches. And then we have nowadays many open data websites where you can find and reuse this subject data, and then find and apply another type of methodological approaches, and then have another research results different from the original ones. And another context that we have is mainly most part of the, not most part, but we have many journal editors and publishers that have how can I say, adhered adhered to the open access movement. And then we have we have access to all the journal articles that we didn't have previously because of we have subscription of these journals. But as we have another model for open access journals, we have access to these open data websites, and as we have other tools to publish the research results, like Facebooks, blogs, Twitters, the researchers nowadays have more facilities, or it's easier to them to publish their research results. Other thing that we have nowadays is the traditional scientific communication, the flow of this communication just changed, because nowadays we can, for example, publish the research results in a post or an article in the blog, or in the blog of a journal blog, and most part of these websites make available the possibility to comment these posts. And then nowadays we have the post peer review possibility. And then even if these articles are not evaluated before its publication, we can, after it was published, comment and rate this the content of these articles, and then make this post evaluation of these articles. And finally, we have another ways to evaluate the results of these researches, because we have, for example, we do not depend more only for the impact factor of the citation of the article. We can access other indicators like the downloads, the access of this, the logs of the access of the sites, and then we have other indicators to help us to say that one and others, some of these articles are really effective and can be cited in another occasion, but as this type of article is already published, and then we can comment and then use these indicators, these alternative indicators, to measure the quality of these articles. Okay, and then I just highlighted some of these websites and that talk about these changes in the scientific communication. Maybe you already know about this, but we are just reminding, but highlighting why we have published these information sources and what's the mission of each one of these information sources. Then we have here the definition of these as information source. It's a catalog of information sources in health available on the internet. And in this information source, we describe the content of these sources and provide links to them on the internet. And in these information sources, we can cover different thematic areas, including areas abroad health sciences. We have, for example, institutional approaches for LIS. We have from other countries. In this case, we can at the same time, we can restrict the geographic area or make it broader. Depends on the mission and the objective what you have in your VHL. Here we have the new portal that we have launched, and here if you want to access, this is the URL of this new portal, and the old link we have for LIS, the regional instance for LIS, we have redirected this URL, and then these links will not be broken, okay? And what we have now as other general objectives for LIS. It encourages discussion about the quality of information sources in health available on the internet. Because in the LIS methodology, we have established criteria to measure and to evaluate if a portal or a website is reliable. Okay? When we talk about reliability and if it's the confidence we have, if the content we have in a website is accurate, and then we can measure this by seeing if the websites have accreditation stamps. Let me see if it's stamps. Yeah, seals. I'm sorry. When a website has accreditation seals, and if we evaluate the origin of the research, for example, if a website is published for a Ministry of Health, probably we can suppose that the content of this website is reliable. If we have a website or a Twitter or a blog published by an editor or a journal publisher, probably this content we can suppose that this content is accurate. Another item that we evaluate is if the portal or the site is stable and secure. Because if we have nowadays an information source based on internet resources, we have to have these records available all the time. And then when we evaluate these, probably you will evaluate the origin of this research. Because when we have a stable institution behind the publication of these websites, we can suppose that these links will not be broken, okay? And many of these LIS that we have, LIS or HIL, Health Information Locators, we can adapt according to the audience. For example, we have a LIS in Spanish that we have two kinds of audiences, for health professionals and for end users, for patients, for example. And then it's really interesting to see, because the internet, at the same time we have really good, reliable websites with scientific and technical information, we have another type of website that is information for the patient. And then when we have this, we can divide or classify these contents by the audience. And if you have already used the previous management system that we have a data field called audience. And then here is the possibility to publish two types of lists or more, depends on your needs. Okay. And about DirEve. DirEve is a tool for creation of directory of events, scientific events mostly. And we avoid to promote, for example, internal events, because when we have internal events, no one abroad this institution could participate in these events. Because of this, the most important criteria is it's a public event, and that many people could participate in and attend these events, okay, or a congress or a workshop. And the most important feature in this, not feature, but the objectives of this information service is to promote the national and international events in health sciences. Because as we are talking in the beginning, we have the possibility to find people, the experts, that knows the status quo of an area, a thematic area, and then we can find these people, identify them, and see the status quo, the most updated information about the area of this event. And in the same way, we can say that LIS, the Health Information Locator, is an information source with the most updated information also, because when we analyze the scientific communication flow, we can say that when you have this traditional information flow, scientific communication flow, we have the authors sending or submitting their articles for an editor or a journal. And then this editor or publisher will send this article to be evaluated in a peer review system for another expert, and then we have a time to these experts to evaluate this article. And then after we have evaluated, approved, and then we have to effectively publish this article in a journal. After it's published, okay, maybe you spent like 3 or 4 months on this process. When we have already published an article in a journal, the other step is, if this journal is indexed in a database or an index, probably you will have to wait for a kind of 2 months again, because the process to include it, to describe, index, and then send this to be published in an index, you will spend more like 2 months. And then when we analyze the period, life cycle of an article to be cited, the most part of the articles that was cited by the scientific community, this citation has an increase in the period of 2 years. If we spend 6 months in this process of submitting, publishing, and then indexing in a database, you have just only 1 year and a half or 1 year and 6 months to promote your article, to present this article and your work in events, and you have just 1 year and a half. And when you include or publish your previous results in blogs, or make available the data you have collected from your subjects, from your research, you are in this exact time making this available to be known and cited. Then because of this, we are highlighting the importance of these both information sources, LIS and DirEve, as the most updated information sources you could have in your VHL site. Okay? Okay, now, let me see. Now that we have already talked about these information sources, I would like to present the new information management, the management system that we have worked. We called it as FI admin. That it's about an acronym for Information Sources Manager. Because FI in Portuguese or in Spanish is Fuentes de Información or Fontes de Información. And then, because of this, we have this acronym. And this system is a multi-user system, and it's based in a web application service. What it means? It means that you, as a VHL owner or coordinator, can include or update your information sources, these two, LIS and DirEve, and you can feed these into the regional platform without the need for local installation. This is a kind of innovation because the old model we have applied for VHL model was we launch a system and then we make these available to be downloaded and installed in your institutions. But many institutions, many VHL coordinations have told us that they do not have the infrastructure, the technological infrastructure, and they do not have also the human resources needed to install these systems, to maintain it in web servers. Then we thought a lot, and then we think that we should change the way we have to work with you. And then we are centralizing the installation of these management system here in BIREME, and you can use and feed your information, include all the websites or events in this central LIS and DirEve, and then you can filter the results that you have included or that you have interest in, and make it available in your VHL site. Then this system to manage these both information sources has here two options to manage. Here, the resources are about internet resources, and these events are the directory of events records, okay? And here I have no records because it was just my profile. Then I have the trials, this system. But we have here, we can access the events or the internet resources from all the network here, from this interface. Another implement that we have in this management system, we have the authentication on the system through BIREME accounts. We are adopting here an auxiliary system to manage the user accounts. The most important feature here is that you will be able to access your records here by this label, My Resources, but you will be able already to see the resources of your network. If you are the coordinator of the VHL from Jamaica, then you will be able to see the records that you have included and the records that your network have included. Okay? And the third option is to see all the resources that have been included, not only by your network, but all VHL network. Another improvement that we have done is the indexing from the system using a service called DEX, a service that can retrieve all the DEX descriptors. And then when you access here the indexing label, you will be able to see here the place in this icon. Then you will be able to find here the name of the descriptor. In this example, I have typed malaria, and then it will be presented all the hierarchy, the definition, the synonyms, the categories, and including the qualification subheadings. Okay, and with this, if you have already worked with the old system, you remember that when you are indexing your websites, you have to go access the DEX portal, search the database, their database, and then copy and paste all the descriptors in the system. When we call this service, DEX service, from the system, not only we do not need to copy and paste, but we also are including all the descriptors in 3 languages. When we are using the old model, we have to type, copy and paste all the descriptors in all 3 languages. In this case, when we include in 1 language, we are able to retrieve in Portuguese, Spanish, and English. Another improvement that we have done is a cooperative validation of the records. LIS and DirEve has the feature of the suggestion of events or websites. And most part in this, the work of validation of these suggestions were done by BIREME, our unit staff. But sometimes we have no condition to validate or to approve these events in the time needed. Sometimes the events have already passed, and then we are not able to validate or to approve these events in time. And then when we have a cooperative validation of these records, if I include a portal or an event, or if I suggest a keyword, or if I suggest other people can validate these recommendations that I have done. Not just me and not just you, but for example, if you have your network and many people have recommended websites and events, but you don't have time to evaluate them now, and then other people from your network can help you to validate these recommendations that most probably the end user have done for your VHL. Okay. Other improvements that we have implemented. Again, the old system that we have to manage LIS, all the data are open. And for example, if I include a new record to describe a portal, but another person could access my record and change all the data they think they think, they guess it was the correct way. But sometimes, me as the documentalist, I don't agree with that changes. And then, the thing that we could do this here is we can block the edition of our records from other documentalists. And if another documentalist think that my description or indexing is not correct, they can report errors in both cases, or not only errors in the description or indexing, but also if my link is broken, in the same time, the same way they can report this error. And these features is inside the system. Other things that we have done is we have standardized some data contents. For example, we have a data field called geographic area. And in this geographic area, we have noticed that we have name of the countries, name of the cities, and sometimes name of the, for example, some locations. And it was really difficult to standardize this data. So all these data are not consistent. We have many different type of contents in the same data field. And then what we have done is to standardize it and include them in controlled lists that the administrator can, the manager of this information source can validate after, or include another options in these controlled lists. Okay. For LIS, we have three different, in fact, actually we have two different types of user profiles. We had we have like the feeder, the validator, and the manager, the administrator of the system. And as we have already used the names documentalist, editor, and administrator for LIS Web and DirEve, we have decided to standardize these names of the user profiles. Then the LIS information source have the same name for the user profiles. Then nowadays we do not have more the profiles feeder and validator. We have we have matched the feeder as documentalist and the validator as editor. Okay. And in some cases we have changed the name of the fields, because as we have adopted from Dublin Core some data fields, the name of some data fields that they have, sometimes they are not so easy to understand for the documentalist. And then we have changed some names of the data fields. And for other data fields, we just decided to exclude them because they are not relevant for this type of information source. Okay, maybe too specific for the information, the kind of information we needed in this information source. About the public interface of DirEve. So we have, I don't know if you remember, but both LIS and DirEve, we have a kind of blue screen for the public interface. And nowadays we have for DirEve like a search result design. Then you'll be able to access the next events, and here chronological for the most near date. And here you can find all the subjects that you have indexed here, the previous events. Okay. Another feature we have here is the possibility to generate a RSS link from your search results. The most used way for this this RSS link is when you want to make selective dissemination service, information service. Okay, when you have a specialized and very specific search strategy, and then if you access all the time the same URL, you will access all the updated, all the inclusions from this search result. Okay, and other thing that you don't have in your VHL sites, but we have in the regional, is the possibility to suggest events. When you have installed the DirEve or LIS in a local instance, we do not have this feature to suggest an event, and now it's possible. Okay. Other things that you can do nowadays with this DirEve, you can share the records that you have included in a social network. For example, in this event, if you want to make them to promote this event, you can just share this record and then publish this record in one of these social media sites. Okay. Other thing, you can report an error. For example, if you have an error, or we have an error in the description, or in the indexing, or if the link is broken, you can report an error directly from this DirEve public interface. Now we have finished the part of for DirEve, and then we start talking about LIS. The public interface has changed a lot, as you can see. We have implemented here, this is the link that you can access, and we have implemented many, I think, interesting things, because we have here, for example, highlights, and in these highlights we have a kind of carousel. I don't know the name of this in English, but these highlights that we have elected, for example, we have defined that we will have one campaign, health campaign, and two themes of priority areas for research, health research. And then these three themes that we have elected, this will be passing here from, I don't know, 1 or 2 seconds, and then, I don't know, in Portuguese and Spanish is a kind of carousel. Okay? Other things that we have. In the previous LIS website, we have many thematic areas, but it was a very long list. What we have done with that list? We have classified in sources, the type of the sources, for example, if they are blogs, if they are Twitters, if they are videos, okay? And then we will include here another link for view more options, and then you will access all that list that we have in the old old website old regional portal for LIS. And we have other, for example, thematic area. In this cluster, in this area, we have defined that all the priority areas defined by the government of each country. And then, in this case, we have included the Brazilian health areas that are priority for health research. For example, we have indigenous health, diet and nutrition, non-communicable diseases, health promotion, and health systems and policy. But we will include the same way, view more sites, for example, here, and then you will be able to access the full list of health areas that are priority for research. Okay. Okay. We are trying to find the name of this this feature here, but no problem. Other feature that we have here in this LIS regional portal. We are going to start to promote your LIS. If you have a LIS published in your VHL, if it's a national VHL, it will be published here, a link that will send the end user for your LIS. Okay, the page you have for your LIS, or in your national LIS, or if you have a thematic area, we will send the end user for the LIS that you have published for thematic area. Another feature we have, of course, we have a search box. All the information sources have a search box because it's the only, not only, but it's one of the ways to retrieve the records you have in your index, okay? You can access LIS portal in 3 languages, Portuguese, English, and Spanish. And it's not possible to see, but here we have 2 icons. One for Facebook, other for Twitter. And then this is the link. We have here links for the pages we have in these social media networks, okay? Also, in the regional website, we can suggest sites to be included, okay? And here we have all the campaigns that Pan American Health Organization calendar has promoted. Then every year, PAHO publishes a calendar with all the dates or the health campaigns that we have. For example, a campaign for here, World Blood Donor Day. And then when we access this link, you will be able to access, as you see now, you will be able to access a really brief text about this day. For example, in this case, World Environment Day. We have a small explanation about this day, and we have here related links that are all links that we have in LIS, that we have registered in LIS, and are about the same topics, the same theme of this Environment Day. Okay. Another way to retrieve the records from LIS is to make a search here in the search box. Slider. Okay. I have Katja here helping me with the English doubts. And this highlight that we have here in English is called slider. Okay. Thank you, Katja. The other way that we can retrieve is the most traditional way, in the search box. Then we will type here the search strategy, and then we will retrieve all the sites, all the portals, all the social media portals in the theme that we have typed here in the search box. And interesting thing is that the same aspect that I have typed here, for example, I have retrieved 34 results for this theme in endocrinology, and 31 of the records that I have retrieved from LIS have been indexed with this descriptor, endocrinology, and 9 was indexed with pediatrics. 7 was indexed with hematology. Then it's a kind of analysis of this the indexing, but it helps you to retrieve other kinds of other aspects of the endocrinology. Okay, because most part of them, in this case, this is the indexing of this Twitter that the descriptors used adopted are endocrinology, veterinary medicine, education, and veterinary. Then, in these search results, we have these just as clusters, and all these topics are indexed and used in these search results. Okay. Another second level page is the detailed records. Here we have, when I have, for example, access these records here, see more details, and I access the second level page, I have access to the full record, the detailed records. I have the title, the link, the abstract, the originator, the institution that is responsible for this, the publication of this website, the indexing terms, and as you could see in the administrative interface, you can, in this interface, you can share this record. You can suggest other tags, other descriptors, and you can from here report an error. For example, we have nowadays some broken links in LIS, and then from here the end user will be able to report if an error or a link is broken. Other interesting feature that we have is the related documents we have in LIS about the same topic of this record. This record is indexed with public health, healthcare, public health, health of indigenous people. And then all these records, these records, are about, for example, indigenous health. Here, indigenous health, and again, indigenous health. So we have other records in LIS that can be interesting. We are suggesting other links to be accessed by this end user that have received and clicked in the full the detailed records in this. Okay. Other implementations that we have done. It's possible when you suggest a site, if you include here, you paste here the URL of a site, we have the auto-fulfilling possibility feature. And then when you include here all this information that is the meta, this metadata is already in the code of this page, the source code of this page, and then it's automatically fulfilled here for us. Okay. Just to see with more detail here, when you click here in a suggest tag, it opens another window where you can suggest the other keywords, But you can also include the text descriptors. Okay? It's not mandatory to include text descriptors. You can include keywords or other terms. Okay? But probably we are working on suggestion of text descriptors in these suggestions of text. Okay? And when you report an error, you will see this box where you can see tell us if it's an invalid link, and if it's invalid link or a broken link, you can include here the new link. You can suggest a new link to be changed to access this record. Okay? The end user will be able to do it. It's a very interesting feature, in my opinion. And you can report if it's a bad content, inappropriate content, okay? If it's out of the scope, or if it's out of the criteria, you can include here by order, and then include here the reason. It's a box where you can type the reason why you report this as an error, okay? And we are changing a little, not changing, but recommending a new way to collaborate with LIS and DirEve. All LIS and DirEve networks are based on VHL Network because it's only possible to exist these both information sources when you have a VHL site. Then, the most common way to collaborate, to cooperate with LIS and DirEve is to collaborate with websites or events in the thematic area of the VHL, of course. But we are proposing you to help us to include both websites and events also in the themes that are in the PAHO health calendar that we have here. For example, just a small part of the calendar. But we are working on all these dates, and now here the date we have on the website is World Environment Day, World Blood Donor Day, and here International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. And then, why we are proposing this? Because we believe that all the VHL sites, all the VHL portals needs to be updated and approaching topics that are under discussion in the time. In most part of these themes, health themes, that are, for example, in the news, in the journals, and in the newspapers, are from the related from the international days that we have proposed, not only by PAHO, but World Health Organization. Okay, and then we believe that if we adopt this new way to collaborate with LIS and DirEve, we'll make our VHL portal more dynamic and updated for the end user. And we believe that it will be very good for your VHL if your VHL is updated with the most trend topics in the time. And then all the time the user that come back to your VHL portal, they will see that you are talking about, you are including themes that are trends in that time. Talking technically about how we work the installation of this new management system. Actually, you don't have to install any software, any system, because it is centralized. We will have here the FEIGMIN installed here as a regional information source. Then LIS will be a regional, as it is nowadays, a regional information source, and DirEve will work the same way. And the management system will be centralized here in BIREME. And the way the VHL portals will be updated will be by using and installing in the WordPress you have. If you don't have, don't worry, we are working on this, okay? But is to install here a plugin that we have developed to LIS and also for DirEve. And the way you will visualize in your VHL portal is you will have here the banner of your VHL site, and here will be present just the themes and the records that you have included and you have highlighted as interested in the themes that you have defined, okay? And then the most recent records will be present here, and you will be able to see here the subjects and the topics that you have highlighted as interesting for your VHL site. But the same way, we will have here a central management system and two central information sources published, LIS and DirEve. And for you just need to install a plugin for WordPress, and then you will receive as a filter and search strategy. You will receive all the records you have here included in the regional portal will be presented in your local VHL site, okay? But if you have nowadays VHL site, the system VHL site, what you need to do? We have to reconfigure your search strategy, because nowadays all the search strategies that are appointing for the old website of LIS and DirEve, they are still working, but they are not accepting new records anymore. And then what we have to do in your website? We have to reconfigure the search strategy you have in your VHL site and include a new search strategy, a new filter based on the new URL we are working here for LIS and DirEve, okay? So what we will need? The first thing that all the VHL portals will need to do is to install a WordPress platform. I know many of you use another kind of platform, for example, Drupal or Joomla, okay? But nowadays we are working on WordPress instances, and we are asking you that I can see that we have with this participants here. We are asking you if you can help us to develop this plugin for another platforms, like I told you, Joomla and Drupal. And then we will have plugins for LIS and DirEve for other instances, other platforms for publication of portals, okay? Once you have installed your WordPress, you have to install the LIS and DirEve plugin. Once you have it installed, we have to configure the search strategy to retrieve your records from a regional portal to be received in your local portal, is the VHL, the thematic VHL site you have nowadays. If the case is you have a VHL, you adopt the old system to manage a VHL site, then the first thing that we have to do is to reconfigure the actual search strategy that you have and include and change it for the new URL we are including here for LIS and DirEve. Okay? For the VHL instances that just have link for the LIS and DirEve portal, regional portal, the old URL are automatically redirecting for the new URL. So these links will not be broken. The next steps for us here in BIREME. We are publishing some open learning resources on the web, probably on our YouTube channel. I know Redes has already published many videos in their YouTube channel, but we are working on our, and we have nowadays 3 videos published there. And the name of our channel in YouTube is red-BVS. Okay. This, in the end of this presentation, I have some links to present you. Okay. The other step that we have to do is to start a pilot test with some VHL networks. Then we will need to do a data migration of the VHL, your VHL, the content of your LIS and DirEve, and make this migration for the regional platform that we have here. After we have migrated this content, we have to configure the search strategies. Okay? And we will follow up this pilot test for during a kind of a month and to see if we have any doubts or any need of support, technical or methodological support. Okay? And for the broken links, we will include LIS and DirEve in the social check links. There is a system that we have developed to make the correction of these broken links. It's also, this system is in pilot test, and I guess we'll be able to launch this system for all the networks, or all VHL networks. I think I finished my presentation, and I just would like to highlight our team that have worked in the development and the updating of technological and methodological themes. And then I'd like to thank a lot for Andrea Hayashi and Sara Oliveira, that are our 2 librarians in our referential sources team, and from IT team, sorry, I'd like to thank you to Julio Takayama, Renato Murasaki, and Vinicius Antonio, that are the person responsible for the graphic interface and the effective development of this system. And the last slide is, if you need any methodological support or any technical support, you can send an email for both of these listservs, and then we will be happy and to answer your questions. And if you can help us to answer the question of all the network that I know many of you knows pretty much of that I have told today, and probably we can work together on this support for the network, okay? If you need or you have other doubts, you can you can send an email to us. But actually, I think all the doubts can be sent to this listserv, okay? Discussion group. Thank you for all of you that are with us. I know some of you speak in Spanish, and if you feel more confident or comfortable to speak in Spanish, we can talk in Spanish also, okay? But Teresa, I know you speak English, and then if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask any doubts now. Thank you very much. We are publishing and making this session recording after, and then I will send you in this list group, discussion group, and we have already done in this session in Portuguese and in Spanish, and then you will be able to access in these 3 languages as it's better for you, okay? Thank you very much, and I'm available for doubts. Thank you. If no one have doubts now, okay, we thank you very much for you attending this session. But feel free to send us an email or more than an email, okay? Feel free to contact us by discussion group or listserv or even by email, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you for you to attend this section. Thanks.